All right, now let's get a quick check now. What's playing out in the crypto market? We see it's pockets of red and green. Bitcoin looking better. They're 0.56% up, $123,000. Even though we saw that big drop, that was, I think, yesterday or day before. That's for Bitcoin, dragging a couple of the altcoins there that were trying to get into newer highs at this point. We see Ethereum, $4,400, down a big 1.79%. So we see the altcoins there taking a beating right there, with Bitcoin still holding up in a green. BNB, $1,285 there. That's still on price discovery at this point, still close to the all-time highs, just like gold. At this point, let's get a check now on some of the headlines in the crypto space. We see the United Kingdom, they officially lifted its 4-year ban on crypto exchange traded notes, ETNs, marking a major shift in the country's approach to digital asset investments. The Financial Conduct Authority, that's the FCA, announced that retail investors can now access crypto ETNs through regulated UK exchanges, a decision that reflects growing confidence in the maturity and transparency of the crypto market there. Now we see PayPal, the mobile payments operator controlled by SoftBank, has acquired a 40% equity stake in Binance Japan. The company announced this today, marking another step in Japan's evolving digital asset market. The transaction, whose financial terms were not disclosed, positions PayPal to expand beyond traditional cashless payments into cryptocurrency services, while Binance gains deeper integration into Japan's consumer payments infrastructure. All right, to all stories there. As meme coin season starts to shake up the BNB chain ecosystem, Binance Wallet has taken the opportunity to launch a meme coin platform called Meme Rush, partnering with BNB Meme Coin Launchpad for .meme. The platform is designed to provide more exposure for non-custodial wallet users to discover and actively participate in the meme hype sweeping the chain right there. All right, let's talk to Seun Dania now, his CEO, Alpha Geek Technologies. Hello, Seun. Great to have you on the show.
Adi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Seun. So, definitely, it seems 2025 is looking like a year of new highs for a couple of asset classes right now. We've seen that happen for Bitcoin. We've seen that happen for BNB. We've seen that happen for gold. We've seen a lot of indexes, stock market indexes, hitting new highs at this point. But that's all happening alongside gold. How are you seeing all of what's playing out in the markets?
I believe generally people are beginning to show express confidence in investing in commodities and stocks, even we're seeing in the stock market also. People are looking at alternative means of investments. And I think that way, evidently, because we see that, of course, the banks are not giving the best interest rates. The Feds have been cutting interest rates, even in the UK. So basically, people are not getting the best from saving in the traditional means, through the banks. So I believe that's why we're seeing sort of all these, investments in other sources.
But going into 2026, there's still all of that uncertainty around rate hikes, in the U.S. and uncertainty about the government shutdown right there. Do you think we're going to see new highs for most of these asset classes in 2026?
Adoption is definitely increasing. In every financial, even banking conversations that are happening now, blockchain stablecoins are evidently one of the top topics. We've seen in the recent news that Swift actually also, building their own blockchain solution in order to solve the challenges of, delayed cross-border payments. That signals to everyone that it is actually here. So this is not a time where we're still trying to speculate or think about if this is going to be. It is going to be. It's already happening. And it's right in front of us. So basically, most of the corporations, countries, businesses are all, and even traditional investors are all looking for ways to ensure that they may be late or may not be late, but it's never late. Everybody's trying to get in now. At least now, everybody has different metrics that they use to measure when to come in, and those signals are beginning to flash before everyone's eyes. So yeah, we're getting a lot more adoption globally.
Yeah. So looking at Bitcoin, for instance, now, where do you see the top for Bitcoin?
So I mean, there have been so many predictions. There have been predictions in the hundreds of thousands. Those prophecies have come through. There have been predictions, prophecies in millions of dollars. Those have also come through. I personally do not have a conviction of where it may be. It will be a store of value at the end of the day. But I still believe that there are so many other forms of digital money, digital assets that will be more usable and more tradable and more accessible to the everyday person. Those are the ones like the stable coin that we're seeing large adoption. Those are the ones that I see will definitely, be in everyday use for everyone. Bitcoin, definitely, we know I believe there will still be like another 5x from where we are.
All right.
Next year.
And talking about another 5x for Bitcoin, the possibility of that. I remember when Bitcoin fell as low as $17,000, $16,000 and started the run up to over $100,000. But if you look at the top 100 coins, on CoinMarketCap, you find out that a lot of these altcoins have not really done much, so far. A couple of investors that are holding some of these altcoins, their portfolios have not really shifted much. But we're seeing new highs for the likes of Bitcoin and BNB. So is this a party that will not involve altcoins, going forward?
Altcoins are centralized. Bitcoin in its own is centralized. And Bitcoin has a finite number. There's 21 million Bitcoin will only exist. And after that, it will just be all scrambling for, divisions, satoshis. So evidently, Bitcoin has that going for it. BNB, on the other hand, of course, is owned by the biggest cryptocurrency exchange, and people are seeing the work that they are doing as they're expanding, acquiring, partnering. So that gives a lot of confidence. They're already building a very, very large ecosystem. However, some of the other altcoins are not doing the same thing. People are replicating that same model, which is build an exchange, launch your own token, but they are not building that wide ecosystem. Some are also following suit, have their own custodial wallets, have people use them, but it may not be as big as what BNB is doing. There's a lot of, I think within other blockchains, maybe like Solana, Cardano, they are building, big ecosystems, they're building communities, but it may not be enough to drive their prices up in the long, because everyone who is in crypto is not going to. We have people who are Bitcoin maxis who would only touch Bitcoin and maybe stablecoin, right? But I'm not sure we have people who are diehard loyal fans of the token that's owned by or blockchain that's built by somebody else. I think the mystery behind Bitcoin keeps it very, very, very very unique, and people know that yes, it doesn't belong to one particular company or built by a group of individuals. Ethereum has going for it as the second, the first EVM, and first of all, the smart contracts and a lot of things that can build on the ERC20. We see that's going for it. So you can see that Ethereum is also gaining, some traction. But most of them may fall off as things go. As more regulation starts to come, when the regulation gets clearer, countries are beginning to decide how and when or who they want to monitor and how they want to actually put in regulation, placing taxes. A lot of the other businesses, I believe they will just weather off after some time. But yeah, we never can tell. A lot of things are based on the use cases. If they're able to build their communities, build their own ecosystems, and get people to trust in them to hold those tokens or to exchange those tokens between themselves, then we just might. But I think evidently Bitcoin's in its number is what's going for it.
All right. I guess at this point, I wonder, maybe it's going to be all about Bitcoin at some point, and maybe investors just forget about the altcoin. But we'll keep watching to see how it plays out. Thank you so much, Shehu Dani, as the CEO of Alpha Geek Technologies. Thank you.
Thank you very much, buddy. Have a great day.